Eyes up here.
You're embarrassing yourself when you're recording.
Okay.
Feel a little bit.
All right. Chapter 4 for Dreamweaver.
There are exits. There are exits. Down the middle.
Deals with images. Okay? What we have done so far with images from Dreamweaver is we've opened up a page and that page has already had images on it. But we actually haven't gone out and grabbed an image and then put it on there. So that's what we're going to be looking at in Chapter 4. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to teach a little bit. You will have some work time because I know that you guys still need to finish up some items from Chapter 3. But again, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. So I want you to have enough work that you will be busy the entire time and not distracted by our phone.
Our replacement.
I'm playing music.
Imagine Langenberg's having a hard time.
Who's replacing us?
Who's replacing you? Nobody.
Not Mrs. Stroh.
My standard person that knows exactly what you need to do.
Mrs. Stroh.
So as long as you come in and know life is good.
Mrs. Stroh.
Alright? So images.
What about that hot guy you had that one time? He was so
I think he's been back in the building since then.
Yeah, he is. I've seen him.
Probably because nobody's contacted. Yeah, you should do
Can we
that.
contact him? Just give me his number. I'll
It's not my
contact
job
him.
to contact people for
He was very personal.
Yeah, but do you have his number? Because I'll contact him for you.
One of the things with Dreamweaver that we can do is we can put our images in, and I also want you to be aware of alt text. Okay? Alt text is going to be one of the options that we use with Dreamweaver. That when somebody has a program that will read web pages back to them, it will describe what is on the page. And if you are designing websites for government agencies, they have to make sure that they follow certain codes for handicap accessibility, otherwise they get in big trouble. And Dreamweaver has that part of it built in. One of the notes that I had on the board to start the hour was, in order for this to work, you need to make sure your site is defined in the fact that you have your asset folder set up as the default images. Okay? So, for a review, I'm going to show you where you check that. And you do that by going to Site, Manage Site, and then in here, I would click on Edit.
On which one?
I'm doing Striped Umbrella. And then under Advanced Settings, I would make sure on the very top for this site that I'm looking at the H drive to the network in that folder for Striped Umbrella, and then it should go to what folder within there? In Striped Umbrella, Assets. Okay? And it's hard to see it all here because we are on a network. And you can't expand out, but if you click here, I would be able to tell right here that it goes all the way from my name to Spring 23, Adobe, Dreamweaver, Striped Umbrella, Assets. That's what we need to have happen. Because what will happen then is Dreamweaver is smart and it says, oh, you told me you want all your images to go here. And when we put an image in, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go there. And you're going to find under this asset folder, all your images by default will go there. I can see that when I grade your work. When I look at your code, it tells me exactly where your images are. And if they are not there, you are going to be losing some points. Got it? So even though I am not on your defined site on your computer, when you make your site, what Dreamweaver does is it does your file names and it does your paths, then how you have your site set up. And I can see whether or not you've done it correctly or not. So, we're going to be working with images, and now one of the interesting things is because when we started this out, we went through and we made a folder under your account that you can get access to all those files. So when the book tells you to open up DW3-2, you know where to go. We're going to be giving some images from that exact same spot today. And what we need to realize is, even though on the H drive, you have this folder that has these images in. You have to make sure all of those images show up within this area here under your striped umbrella site. If it's not here, I won't be able to see it when you publish it. It will still look pretty for you and come up here correctly in Dreamweaver, but when you go to publish it, it will not work correctly. And I'll show you some hints on how you can double check that it does work correctly when it's published, so you can see it how I can see it. Okay? So, we're ready to rock some images work here for our websites, because you told me you don't like just plain sites. Got to add some graphics to it.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and open up DW4-1. So I'm going to go to File, Open. And I need to go to that folder that we made for Chapter 4. And I'm going to open up DW4-1.
DW4-1.
And when I open it up, this is what I see.
Should guess be a capital G?
We're going to work on some stuff.
That's under mine.
Okay? So now, what I need to do right now,
That was embarrassing for you.
Is this chapter 4, right?
I'm on page 4-6. I need to do a file, save as. This is where some of you are struggling. Where do I need to save this as? Under what folder?
Striped umbrella.
Striped umbrella. So I have to go to striped umbrella. I am going to save this as About Us. Do you see how About Us is already there?
Yeah.
All I have to do is click on that and click on Save, and I don't have to worry about spelling it wrong or doing a capital letter. Then it says, the file you selected already exists. Would you like to overwrite the file? And I'm going to say, why, yes, I do.
Update links.
Update links. No. Can you tell me why the image works? Because the banner is already in our assets folder. Okay? The other thing I want to point out is, notice they already have, going across the top here, a menu bar. If you clicked on Home, it will show you that it is linking to index.html, which is already a page here. If you, throughout this activity, named a file over here differently with an uppercase letter or an extra space, these links now would not work. Very case dependent. The next thing we need to do is we have to attach in a style sheet. How do we do that? Not making a new one. We're attaching. Right here, that little chain link. We're going to click on that, and you are going to attach that one style sheet that's within the site. So it shouldn't be too hard to choose, should it? Okay. Now, it gives me an option. Do I want to link it or import it? And what do I want to do? Link it, because imports it puts in the top head section. So we're just going to link it and click on OK. And you will see on the right-hand side that we have our style sheet of list headings, body text, and small text. Now, what I want to do is I need to select these two large paragraphs of text down here in the bottom. I need to be in CSS, not HTML. Remember, we've talked about that, switching back and forth between the two of them. I need to be in my CSS. And I'm going to set this to body text. Okay, highlighted those two paragraphs. In properties, I switched to CSS. And then my targeted rule that I used is my body text. Now, I'm going to switch back to HTML. I'm going to highlight welcome guests. And we're going to set that as heading 3. So we've gone through and formatted some of our text. Welcome guest is heading 3. Those paragraphs are set as body text. Now, I'm going to click before when in the first paragraph. So my blinking cursor, very important where your blinking cursor is, otherwise this will not work. Justin, we need to be doing this with me, please. Right here, do you see where my blinking cursor is before the W in when? Very, very important when you are working on images. You are aware of where your cursor is when you click on insert. Because wherever your cursor is on the page, it's going to be where that image is going to go in. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the image button. And I'm going to find that over here under, I'm going to switch from CSS styles over here on the right. I'm switching from CSS to insert. Did you find that? Okay. Now, if you scroll down on there, what do you find? Images. Okay. So I am going to switch and I'm going to click on images. And then this is what comes up. It's going to ask me, what image do I want to insert? Now, we have to go to chapter 4. Okay? Go to chapter 4, go in the assets folder, and we're going to choose the clubhouse image.
The clubhouse?
Yep.
That's under what? That's a pretty sweet clubhouse.
Okay, so I found that under chapter 4. I'm going to click on OK. It's going to pop up and it's going to give me a direction saying, hey, you got to put your alt text in. And what we're going to type in here is going to be some text that will show up, and we're going to type in club house. Very sophisticating. Okay?
I can see you, but
And then we're going to click on OK.
that's a big clubhouse.
Now, is it under your assets folder? Hit refresh. Right here is the refresh button.
You have to get it up there.
Okay.
Oh, it is.
It will automatically show up, but sometimes you gotta make sure that you hit refresh because it takes a while to show up. Christina, you have your cursor in the wrong position. You have to have it before the W and when. Nope, you had it after your, when you insert your image, it really should be directly to the left of the word when. If it is not, that means you have made a boo-boo. Okay? Now, another thing that I want to point out is right here. Can you find your assets? Locate your assets panel. Now, right now, my assets panel is showing me my links, but I can click right here on this very top icon that is a picture of a tree, and that is going to be your default icon for images. And if you click on that, you will notice that I have, right now I can see the C-Spa logo, but if I scroll down on the bottom, you will find that I have Clubhouse, C-Spa logo, and SU banner. Now, why do I want to know this? When I'm looking at my assets panel, here I have the Clubhouse image. Notice right here it says clubhouse.jpg. Right here it gives me my dimensions. It tells me that the size of this graphic is 200 by 123. And how is that measured? Pixels. So I know that this is 200 pixels by 123 pixels. I don't have to worry about that. If it didn't show up, hit refresh. Okay. The other thing that I have is I have the size, but I also have the type One of the things that people try to do sometimes is they try to actually type at the end of an image or end of a file. For example, if I go to my computer and I open up a Microsoft Word document, I can rename it, right-click and rename it, correct? Yeah. And I could actually rename it as .jpg. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is actually the file type. Does that make sense? I can't just save a Microsoft Word document with the .jpg and have it automatically be a Microsoft, or excuse me, a graphic.
That was mean.
Yeah, I know it was. She's gonna kill Cindy.
There is a refresh under your assets panel as well.
She's just annoying. All day today, she's just been really annoying.
He just punched me like.
She's gone now.
Okay.
One day I'll kill you. She like punches me.
I do this all day.
Cody's not having a good day.
No, I woke up crabby.
Yeah, he just punched me.
I've had those days.
I'm having a good day, Cody.
Yeah, are you? I'm just gonna.
Abby, you just missed it. I just made a cheer.
Oh no.
Cody's gonna be.
I think so, it's fun.
Come on, Cody. Come on, Cody. Be happy. I have you on. He's so mad. Abby, come on. He's crabby. I would do him like this.
Oh, so hard.
I can't even take it. You know, you're kind of funny. That's
Alright, so your assets panel here allows you to see a lot of your images and get details about what is there.
It would be funny if you were doing a picture.
But I'm not that big. Great.
Now, second paragraph, same page. Click before the A and after. Okay? Please make sure your cursor is in the right spot.
What's that, boss?
Right here before the A and after. We are going to insert another image. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to insert an image placeholder. So to do that, under insert, what I'm going to do is I realize I want to put a picture here, but the people that are in charge of graphics for the site didn't make one yet. But I know that I want to put one in for a certain size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to insert and then I'm going to choose an image placeholder. Then what's going to happen is this is going to pop up and I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a name and I'm going to call it Boardwalk. And then I can set how wide I want this image to be. And I want the width to be 350 and I want the height to be 218. Now I can choose the color of this placeholder that's going to appear on my page just as a spot to remind me that what's going to be there. But I'm just going to leave it gray right now. I am going to put an alt text in because if I put an alt text in right now, when I go to add my image, it'll automatically stay there. So I'm going to give the placeholder the name Boardwalk, width 350, height 218. Leave the color as gray, and I'm going to set my alt text to Boardwalk to the beach, and then I'm going to click on OK. And then what happens is Dreamweaver really just puts in a box the right size filled with color, and it shows me here, and it also does down here on the properties panel gives me my alt text. Now the other thing that I can do down here in my placeholder portion, it gives me an option to go into fireworks and actually create this graphic if I wanted to. And if I click on that, it would actually launch fireworks and it would give me a document that would make it in the correct size that I would need for this location. We're not going to get into that right now, but we do have that option here.
At least that would be nice.
Let's go ahead and save this page. And you know you need to save it when it has that asterisk. So now we just time warped a week later. You didn't even realize that, did you? It's a week later already. We just learned so much, we've just been going. And our graphics department for our website has found this image for us. Okay? So we put this in there, and again, it's kind of odd because we put the placeholder in and now we're going to replace it, but you put it in there as in the development stage saying, I want a graphic to go here, and then somebody else would be working on that. What we're going to do is we're going to replace this placeholder with the actual image that somebody else got for you. Okay? All I need to do to replace that placeholder is have the placeholder selected. So my handles are around here, and then down here on the bottom. Do you see where it says SRC? Now, that should be familiar coding for you, because remember when we had to hand code an image, we actually typed in IMG space SRC. What we're going to do right here is we're going to browse for this file. And we're going to find that file under Chapter 4. Okay? And that file is going to be called Boardwalk.
PNG?
Yep, PNG. And then I'm going to click on OK. Now, when I go back to my Assets panel right here,
Holy crap.
and click on this refresh,
Wait,
it should be there.
Maybe it can rip coloring on the other
Okay? So, you should find now under your Assets panel that you have 4 images. Yay?
Ow.
Now, C-Small logo is not on my page. Why is it showing up here? These are all of my images for my whole entire site. So if I wanted to use this boardwalk image again, I could actually find it just under my Assets folder, not necessarily going out and trying to get a new graphic. Let's save that page again.
Oh wait, I totally screwed that up. Undo. Yeah, I know, I'm marking that.
Now this next step sometimes doesn't work. I'm hoping it works for us today. Okay? Put your cursor after the at the end of the last sentence in the last paragraph. Okay? So right after beachwear, make sure it's after the period. Then hit enter. So I want to be below that last paragraph. So my blinking cursor is right here.
A break or a enter?
Enter.
That's why she said enter.
What we're going to use now is we're going to use a program called Adobe Bridge that can do some pretty cool stuff. So to do that, watch up here first. Okay, watch up here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to browse in Bridge. Just watch, just watch. Sometimes this doesn't work, so then I get to get a little tricky. Now, what it's doing is it's actually launching in another Adobe software called Adobe Bridge. And Adobe Bridge is a software that allows us to go ahead and view graphics in another format because Adobe is a pretty graphic intense software. Like I see your Adobe Bridge is launching, but mine is not. It's always wonderful when that happens.
You just want to get
Ah, here it is.
It's you as a person.
I will get you down.
This is you as
Now, depending how many images you have will determine how long this takes to open. Now, you are seeing something different here because I've used Adobe Bridge before. what you have on the left-hand side is you have folders and you have favorites. You guys are making it very hard for me to talk to the class. Okay? What it's doing right now, if you notice, it is actually going through all of my folders on the left-hand side, which I have a lot of stuff on the network. So right now, Adobe Bridge is going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that's a lot of stuff, that's a lot of stuff, that's a lot of stuff. You guys have a message on your screen. What does your message say?
Do you want Bridge to start a login so that it is instantly available when needed? This option can be changed in the advanced section of preferences.
Go ahead and say yes. It took a while for some of those messages to pop up. So if it didn't pop up yet, just give it a second. If you didn't launch Adobe Bridge, feel free to do that now because it is taking a long time. Now, notice what it did for me. I waited and I didn't do anything. Where did it go to?
Striped umbrella.
It went all the way to striped umbrella for me.
Mine didn't.
Give it a second.
Do we need to put folders, not favorites?
Okay. Just wait. Just wait. Just leave it alone. It's thinking really hard.
We need not to go all of you.
Really
Okay.
hard.
Now, this is what is a little bit hard for students because this program is going through and scanning a lot of things and you want it to automatically load and happen right away. Notice I'm not sitting at my computer, I'm stepping away, I'm relaxing, I'm letting it do its work. Okay, if on the left hand side, if you are not in folders, please choose folders. You see where mine is? Can you find folders? And when you switch to folders, you should see it takes you all the way to striped umbrella. Please try that. You don't need to browse for things. Don't click on anything in the middle. On the left-hand side, you click on folders. Now, right here, this is all of my files for striped umbrella, but I need to get an image. Where is that actual image located though?
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Assets.
In assets.
Map. So we want, what do we need to mark?
You are going to choose striped umbrella logo.
Oh, yeah.
So you select it, and then all you need to do is double click on it and it should go in for you.
Or it'll open Photoshop.
Did it open Photoshop?
Yep.
Yeah, mine launched Photoshop too.
Oh, you know what I did?
Mine's a lot of
My Photoshop's launching too. I told you the wrong thing, sorry. With it selected, we want to go to File, Place in Dreamweaver.
Not responding.
Yeah, that's what happened to mine.
It sometimes,
It says not responding.
I think all your pictures.
Don't even like me. Don't really have to put it.
hang on.
It's really bothersome.
No.
Sometimes while Photoshop is opening, it takes up a lot of memory. And then once it opens, Photoshop opens, you can close it. But you'll go to File, and then down towards the bottom is the word Place. And then you're going to Place in Dreamweaver.
Oh, it's not responding.
That's really bad.
What happens if it didn't work? What if it didn't work?
Hang on. It should give you your alt text. I'm being patient because sometimes it takes a while. I can, yes. Anyone get it to Place in Dreamweaver yet?
Nope.
Aw, it's wonderful. See, I told you sometimes it doesn't work.
But I thought it's a wonderful program.
It is. but I can never get it to work.
Wonderful program.
So, what's another way we're going to get that image in there?
You're gonna find it on the internet.
You don't need to find it on the internet. You're going to go to Insert, Image, but make sure you choose Image, not Image Placeholder. And then you can find the striped umbrella logo, SU logo GIF. That's what you need to put in.
Alternate text.
Your alt text is going to come up as the striped umbrella logo. Striped umbrella logo. Gotta do one more thing. You can go ahead and close Adobe Bridge, that whole program, by just go ahead and clicking on the X in the upper right hand corner for that program. Okay, scroll up and choose that Clubhouse logo. Or the graphic, excuse me. Choose your Clubhouse graphic. So I have this graphic selected. It's got handles on it, so that's what I know I'm working on right now. Okay? Down here is my properties panel for my image. You can see here's the source for it. Here's my alt text. So if you ever forget to enter an alt text when you put it in, you can still always type it down here in your properties panel. What we're going to do is we're going to change the alignment of this image. Okay? We're going to take the alignment. Right now is set to default. I'm going to change that to left.
For all of them?
Just Clubhouse image.
What happened?
So now what happened is it took the image and it's actually wrapping the text around that image. Okay, now try it again. Have that graphic selected and choose alignment right, just so you can see the difference.
The big one.
Do you see how now it placed it to the right of it? Okay, let's go ahead and put Clubhouse back to left. And I want Boardwalk to right.
Yes, which could be the word
Okay. Now mine looks different than yours. Why? Because my screen is a different size for setting that up. Now when I scroll down, I should also still find my striped umbrella logo is down here on the bottom. Clubhouse graphic is set to left. Boardwalk is set to right on your properties panel on the bottom. Go ahead and save our, let's save this. And let's go ahead and preview that in the browser. Now you will find if you change the size of your browser window, it's going to wrap your text differently. Don't design your site for this size monitor. You need to be aware of people that have smaller monitor sizes. Think about viewing this on a Chromebook or on your iPhone and how that would change because of your image. Okay? So, that is section 1 for Dreamweaver for chapter 4. That is where I'm going to stop today. But you should have this all done in order for me, when we get back together again on Friday, to be able to get your work done. So for the rest of the class period today, you have some work time on Chapter 3. Tomorrow you will have more work time on Chapter 3 also. Do not forget, when you have finished your Chapter 3 work, to fill in your date information here for when you have Striped Umbrella, Brooms and Bulbs, Trip Smart, and Caroline's Creations published. Okay, there you go, work time.